Hey, what's up, y'all? It's KBR Sports, the best sports talk show of your 24-hour day. I'm your host, Brendan Abbott, with my two co-hosts, Kyla Lewis to my far right, Rashad Pinnell to my left, and we have two guest stars today, starting with Rudy Henderson, who's been a consistent fan favorite of our show. Coming on,
Greatness.
and then we have Eric in the back. This is Eric's first time guessing with us, so we hopefully hope to embrace him. Man, shut up, man. Guest appearance, guessing, whatever you want to, whatever verb you want to use. Guessing. It's a word on KBR Sports.
First
Live,
day back, already correcting grammar.
live on WODU Studios, the best in college radio. Well, guys, how y'all doing today? Just let me. I need to get that question out there. How y'all living?
I'm all right. I'm good. I'm cool.
How about you, Rashad? I know you just got off work, so how you feeling?
I just got off work, this new diet got me getting this asparagus in there. These carrots in there struggling over there, though.
Oh, really?
Sitting there struggling, sitting there eating that junk. But hey, we making it. We here. Let's talk some sports.
Are you just barely hanging on?
Hey, I'm actually a little awake now. I'm actually a little awake.
Oh, really?
Wow.
That skate here, I was moving.
Good,
Got off wet a little early, a little late. I was like, I gotta get here.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
How my man Eric back here? How you doing back here, man?
I don't think that was though.
Did the beat go off?
Oh,
Hey,
shit.
he come up in the scene.
Man, I can't argue. It's a nice day. Gotta get up early for this radio show, though.
Yeah.
That's too much.
Hey,
I
man.
got class tomorrow, so I can't even complain.
All right, y'all. Well, this is going to be the Super Bowl special edition of today's show. We're going to be talking about everything that has to do with the Super Bowl, the players involved in the Super Bowl, most notably Cam Newton and Peyton Manning. Topics are going to be talking about the criticism Cam Newton's got recently over, the past few weeks. Pretty much the whole season. Cam's just been criticized for whatever you want to put your finger on. And we're going to get into that. Also, we're talking about, should this be Peyton Manning's last game? And do we think it will be his last game? And then also talking about, has Cam Newton been the most polarizing athlete in all sports this year? And then finally, in our last segment, we'll all give our picks and why we have our picks for the Super Bowl. But starting off, Cam. Cam has been, like he said about himself, he's been a lightning rod in the NFL this season. But with that comes a lot of controversy, it seems. Also, when Cam made his initial statements about, he said that he said it since day one. I'm an African-American quarterback. That scares a lot of people because they don't have a lot to compare me to. And he said, I think it's a tricky question. If I answer it truthfully, it's going to be, oh, he is this and that. But I will say anyway, I don't think people have seen what I am, or what I'm trying to do. And I think in regards to what he's talking about, what he's trying to do, he's trying to become the face of the league as an African-American player and an African-American quarterback. And then he released recent statements, elaborating on those comments, saying, I don't even want to touch on the topic of black quarterback because I think this game is bigger than black or white, even green. So I think we limit ourselves when we just label ourselves just black, this, that, and the third. I said numerous times that I play to have a stage that people will listen to. And I pray to God that I do right by my influence. So when you ask me a question about African American, black, and mobile, it's bigger than that. So a lot of people, it's no question that Cam has been the most, he's been the biggest story this season as far as it comes to the dabbing, the dancing, the celebratory antics and stuff, and it's rubbed off on the whole Panthers team. But you have the contrarians with that see that, and they'll criticize him, saying he's immature, he's too cocky, he's arrogant. What do you guys think about the Cam Newton? The criticism he's drawn his way through this season, through this 15-1 season, essentially 17-1 since they won 2 games in the postseason. Rashad, let's start off with you. What do you think about the slack Cam Newton's caught so far in the season?
See, I feel like it's unfair because I remember not too long ago, my man Maurice Jones-Drew, when he played for Jacksonville, used to pick groceries off with a shopping cart all the way across the back of the end zone. And nobody was like, "Oh, that's great celebratory right there. That's greatness. That's a good job." But now Cam's doing it. He's dancing. He's doing the dances everybody do now. I feel like it's unfair. I feel like it's unfair that he's getting all these critics. And I feel like part of it has to do probably because he's not the typical Tom Brady, Peyton Manning type quarterback that everybody's got accustomed to seeing. Stuff like that, who score touchdowns and then let the team celebrate. Don't don't not the one that made him celebrate, but you know what I'm saying. You have your Tom Brady like he's little get hype himself,
Yeah.
head, but people everybody, but it's not like going to a full breaking out dance moves and everything like that.
Mhm.
That people are feeling like, oh, he's not good for the children, he's not good for the league, he's stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's unfair that he's taking a lot of criticism. I can't say exactly what I'm trying to say. I can't say exactly that how he's dealing with it, other than like, yo, we need to just drop it. I don't know how it affects him,
Mhm.
but I don't feel like he should be slammed with all this criticism all season long as he has. Especially since they started winning, it more so happened as they kept continue to win.
Yeah.
And then you start celebrating more as he win. He's seeing cocky or anything like that.
All right, Rudy, what do you think?
I think he just rubs people the wrong way, honestly. And I don't mean that to say he rubs me the wrong way. I just think the dancing and whatnot rub people the wrong way as far as they think he's being too much of a show off, showboating and whatnot, when he's honestly out there just trying to have fun. To address Rashad's point about Maurice Jones-Drew, I don't think anybody said anything about that because he plays for the Jaguars, so I'm pretty sure no one saw it. But
Come on, bro.
but and not childish. I gotta speak facts. I come on here every once in a while. But yeah, I just think the way he dances and whatnot just rubs certain people the wrong way. But it's gonna rub you the wrong way until you can stop them. So I have no problem with it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And no one's been able to break it. So
You have a point. All right, Khalid, what do you think?
Just like what Rudy was saying, basically, they just criticize him because he gets in the end zone and then he celebrates when he wins. I mean, it's what you're supposed to do. You excited because you just got that touchdown, so you're gonna like dab or something, or you're gonna hit them folks.
Dab on them, folks.
And you just gonna show how excited you was to get that touchdown. I mean, just because the man's dancing and stuff, you ain't gotta criticize him. I mean, I understand you may think that he's showboating and stuff like that. But man ain't. He's just having fun, like Rudy was saying. And I do think there's also a tribute to his race as well, because we haven't seen like the criticism we've been seeing him getting. We ain't been seeing nobody else get it. And it's crazy because when Russell Wilson was winning, I didn't really see that much criticism either.
You didn't?
Well.
You don't think Russell Wilson got criticized?
Not as much as Cam though.
Okay. Yeah,
Not
I
as
agree
much
with
as
that.
Cam though.
I agree with that.
But yeah, I do think it comes with being that with having that color, or having the what you call African American race, and just not seeing like winning white quarterbacks.
Okay, Eric, what's your perspective on it? Let me hear your thoughts on it.
I gotta say it is part of race, but the way that Tom Brady, okay, hold on. If Tom Brady, hold on. Honestly, it's like part of like he has everything under the sun. Like he's a good-looking dude. He's probably getting all the girls. He's got a whole bunch of money, and he's young, and he's winning. And Tom Brady is kind of like the same thing. Tom Brady will get a whole bunch of hate for winning, and Cam Newton, he's the same thing, but he's young. I don't know. I'm going at this point.
Okay, let me ask y'all this question. So, for as much as we talk about, because I agree with that, Cam gets unfair criticism, but how much of it do you think it is race, or do you think it's a generational thing? Because think about it, he's dabbing, he's doing the pipe it up dances, and you'll have a lot of old school players that are like, hey, we don't like, that's not how we did things. But I also understand that some people feel it is race, because when Tom Brady is going crazy in the end zone, people are like, oh, that's crazy Tom Brady, he's so competitive. But then when Cam Newton's doing that and stuff, and he's pointing to the end zone, everybody's like, oh no, that's you're showboating, you're showing off. But when Aaron Rodgers does this, he gets a commercial for it. So
discount double check.
Yeah, exactly, the discount double check, and it becomes a comedious kind of thing. So how much of it do you guys think is generational, or do you really think it is, and most of it does boil down to the race?
I don't know. See, this where it's tricky at, because you have stuff like that, but then you have what Odell Beckham did last year, and it's on a video game. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you put on Madden, you see Odell Beckham, hitting the whip. So I'm like, is it really race, or is it just?
But here's the thing:
they wasn't winning.
But here's the thing: I think okay, I get what you're saying with Odell Beckham. The only problem is he's not a quarterback, if you get what I'm saying. Odell Beckham's not the leader of that team per se. So because he's a quarterback, Cam gets more flack because of it, because no quarterback's really done what Cam's done.
Wait, so we're saying Eli's the leader of that team?
Yeah. I mean,
that's a stretch.
Eli is the leader of the team, but
he threw a pick in the Pro Bowl. That was about the highlight.
I'm just saying, Eli is the leader. That your quarterback is essentially.
I just don't want my leader to be looking at me like that.
You think I should throw it?
But yeah, I think that's the reason why Odell Beckham. I mean, even some players will say Odell. Remember those rumors are going about Odell Beckham being gay and stuff like that. Even though there's no reason we've had to believe that Odell Beckham's gay, but just because of how he acts with all the dancing and stuff. But I mean, that's just how some people have received Odell Beckham Jr. But as with Cam as a quarterback, I'm guessing the media is like, you're the leader of that team, so you're the face of that team. So why are you putting yourself out there in this sort of way or fashion? You know what I'm saying? What do you guys have to say to the generational or race thing?
I think it's a little bit of generational, but I also think that it's just him. I think people just don't like him. It's one of those situations where there's like that kid in class where everyone's like, yeah, I hate Johnny. And then they ask you why, and you're just like, I don't know. I feel like they just don't like Cam Newton. When he came out of the draft, people were like, oh yeah, we don't like Cam Newton because his smile doesn't seem sincere.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
But like they're finding ways to not like him, if that makes sense. I feel the same way about him as I feel about Jameis Winston. They both have had an incident in college that got blown up about them being bad character guys. They came to the NFL, haven't really gotten in trouble since, but everyone's sort of waiting. You know what I mean? Everyone's like on the edge of their seat, like, oh, what are they gonna do next? I know they're a horrible person. What are they gonna do next?
Yeah.
So the fact that he's winning and then he's dancing and whatnot, these people are attributing that to what happened several years ago with the whole laptop situation and people not liking the smile, to translating into being, oh, he's a fake individual who likes showing off in other people's faces. I don't like him. So I think that, like, I'm not gonna attribute it necessarily just to race and stuff like that, because people criticize Gronk for some of the stuff that he does too. Because Gronk be having parties in the end zone. So I'm just gonna say I think it's just a Cam Newton specific thing. There are players around the league that there are just specific things that people are just gonna get on them about. People are always gonna talk trash about Ryan Tannehill just because he hasn't done anything to anybody.
He got a big contract for what he's done on the.
If we're gonna talk about Tannehill, we got to talk about Dalton too.
Khalid, what's your take? Khalid, what's your take? Go ahead. Dalton's been to the playoffs, but yeah, Khalid, what's your take?
I do think it's a little bit.
Continue.
I do think it's a little bit of generational because they don't really understand the mindset of Cam Newton. You know, as a young person, we want to go out there and show everything we got. We want to prove that we are the best. So when we actually show that, you know, we just have like this excitement in us that we need to, you know, release.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think that the older generation is probably like they're more humble to it because they've been in the league a long time, or because they're older, so they understand that, oh, you can't be dabbing and stuff like that in the end zone, because that's not something that an adult would do. But I mean, Cam, we all young. Cam is young too. The man is gonna do
26.
The man is gonna do some young people stuff. 26. So they just need to. They need to see that the man is just trying to be. He's just happy that he winning, because last year they didn't get this far. So the man is very happy.
All right, Eric, what do you think? Do you think it's a race thing or a generational kind of thing?
I gotta say it is generational. I mean, Cam's making it look easy, and he's I mean, he's just making it look easy, and it's a tough game, and he's going about showboating just like everyone says. But it rubs people the wrong way. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's his smile. I don't know.
See,
that's not the suit and tie look.
Yeah. See, here's the thing about what you said about Rob Gronkowski for me though, because Rob goes into the end zone, does the spike and everything like that, but people accept that about Rob Gronkowski. Rob Gronkowski doesn't really get flack for that.
He gets flack for his off-field party.
I'm just saying, but people realize, like, people talk about how great Gronk is. Like, think about it, we've never seen Gronkowski get the kind of flack that Cam. Granted, Gronk is a tight end, but
Well,
the kind of flack I'm talking about, because Gronk parties it up as much as anybody. Off the field. We're talking about what Cam does on the field. You know what I'm saying? And Gronk has never received any kind of flack for what he does on the field. No matter whether it's spiking, the going crazy on the side or on the sideline or in the end zone or whatever. Gronk and Cam's giving footballs to kids. And people are talking about this guy is an arrogant, cocky. A woman from Tennessee wrote a letter talking about, I don't want my child to watch this stuff. I can't believe this. Blah, blah, blah. If you knew, everybody, Cam, it's not like it was no surprise. The Panthers have been undefeated for a while when they came to Tennessee to play them. And you chose any day to bring your daughter to a game. You knew who Cam Newton was. You knew what you were bringing her to see. So you're telling me you don't want your daughter to see Cam Newton doing this, but you want to see Marshawn Lynch grab his crotch. You want to see other people do other sort of things.
That hasn't happened in years.
Oh my God. He did it last year. Yeah, he did it last year. Yeah, he got fined. He hasn't been on the field enough for us to see it this year. But I'm saying, like, she writes a letter like that, and you're talking about a guy that's giving footballs to kids, that's giving, that's opened up so many charitable organizations, and he's rubbed off his leadership and his excitement for football on his teammates, and people are talking about he's too cocky, he's too arrogant. If he's too cocky, then what's Aaron Rodgers? Just relax, guys. No. Don't worry about it. What is that?
I think I know why people say he's cocky. Nobody at the beginning of the season thought the Panthers would be 17-1 right now. Mm-hmm. Nobody.
No.
There is nobody that can say, I saw this happening.
They were topping out at like 9-7.
Yeah,
maybe.
so for the team, people still felt like this Panthers team is not that good. He shouldn't be cocky that they're this. His defense is the reason they're this. Stuff like that. Mm-hmm. They feel like I feel like people who say he's being too cocky is saying that he's taking too much credit for what his defense does for them to help them be what they are. Mm-hmm. It is not as much as him as it is his whole team. Mm-hmm. That's why I feel like this ain't cocky, because they feel like this is a team that shouldn't be 17-1, but they are, and he's celebrating because they are. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's why people are like, oh, he's cocky because of that.
That's true.
I mean, I agree with everything y'all are saying. I just think it goes back to people are always going to connect players with some of the negative stuff that's happened, even though we found out he basically he resold a laptop that was stolen.
He bought a stolen laptop. Yeah.
People get stuff like that mixed up. We know that he bought a stolen laptop, but the people out there, he stole some innocent kid's laptop, and he wasn't going to class. And then he came to the NFL with this smile that was disingenuous and all this other stuff. So they're not going to like him. The people that don't like Cam Newton are never going to like Cam Newton. If you can understand what I'm saying, it's sort of like the people that don't like Peyton Manning are never going to like Peyton Manning. People that don't like Jameis Winston will never like Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any reason to not like Cam Newton other than those pants that he wore getting off the plane.
Come on.
But,
come on.
That came straight from Russell Westbrook's club.
Come on. He said the gold and black was the theme of the song.
I'm sorry. You need to put them far away. Burn those. Burn them with fire. Okay. But I just think I don't want to say he's an unlikable guy. He's just an easy guy not to like, if that makes sense. He's an easy target for you to pick not to like.
So Cam is doing so good that it's easier to not like him.
Isn't that how it goes? The Spurs do so good.
That's why I'm asking the question.
Think about the Spurs. How many people hate the Spurs? What do they do?
Wait.
There's a lot of people that hate the Spurs.
Wait, hold on. I hear way more people that say they hate the Lakers when the Lakers are good than the Spurs.
We had to bring the Lakers in.
No, it's true.
But I'm saying, okay, but it's the same argument.
No, it's not.
No, what I'm saying is
I think
it's the
it
same
depends
argument.
on who you have as your star.
No, what I'm saying is it's the same argument because people don't like the Lakers because they're successful. If Kobe and Shaq would have been on the Lakers and y'all wouldn't have done squat, no one would care. But because they were on the Lakers and y'all were dominating people, because the Spurs were going back and dominating people don't like him. LeBron, for the most part, doesn't really do anything for people not to like him other than be a dominant player, but people hate him. Like
the decision plays a part.
The decision plays a part, but there are people that don't like him just because they don't like him. Like whenever you're good, people aren't gonna like you. Point blank, period. So we're just pulling up an incident of one player who's playing great, astronomical this season, and talking about, oh, well, people don't like him. That's gonna happen when you're great. It's when people like you and you suck that you need to be worried.
So what Rudy was saying, that actually helped me bring up a good point. If this Panther team pulled a Giants, went 7-9, made it to the Super Bowl, and Cam Newton was celebrating like this, is it that's talked about since they were 7-9 in the regular season?
Nope.
No,
I think he gets more flack for it because people are like, you're not even winning like that. So why are you celebrating?
But he
See,
makes,
it's like
Super Bowl still.
he makes it to the Super Bowl still, yeah. But think about it, he's done this the whole season. So it's like if he's doing this the whole season and y'all have lost, people are gonna be like, why are you celebrating so much because you're losing? It's like either way, Cam loses because people. I mean, a lot of the naysayers will be like, you're too cocky, you're too arrogant. But then he says, then stop me. And there's proof nobody's been able to stop him except for once. Whereas if you were losing and you're doing all that, people have a thing that can say, well, you haven't been winning as much, blah, blah, blah. You guys got to the Super Bowl off of luck and chance. You guys got into the playoffs and then just happened to get hot in the playoffs. But when you're winning, I mean, nobody can tell you nothing when you're like, what does Malcolm always say? You can do whatever you want when you popping. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? When you're popping, you can do whatever you want. You know, nobody's going to tell you otherwise. So go ahead, Colin.
I also think some football fans are like tired of seeing them winning. And basically they're like, oh yeah, Cam and the Panthers gonna win this one. I mean, when they played the Seahawks and the Seahawks came back, they was like, oh maybe the Seahawks can stop this. And then when they win, they're like, Cam, they won again. Yeah. And then when they blew out the Cardinals, it was like, oh, Cam won again. Yeah. So I think they tired of seeing this team win because this team generally doesn't win. So now that they are winning, people's just like, oh, just lose already.
Yeah, they want to see them fail.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. All right, that was a good conversation. But going on to the next topic, talk about the other Super Bowl quarterback, Peyton Manning. Yeah, Peyton Manning. You know, the 20-year veteran. You know, the man who's arguably been regarded as the best regular season quarterback of all time. You know, the question now is it time for him to hang it up? You know, to call it a career because he hasn't looked like the Peyton Manning of old that was, you know, that threw 55 touchdowns, that led a team to being the best offense in the league, that's been to the Super Bowl 3 previous times. He doesn't look like that same Peyton Manning. So now the question a lot of people are asking, is it kind of the time? Because a lot of athletes have retired this season, with Kobe Bryant retiring in the NBA because it's obvious his play has fallen off. With Reggie Wayne, just Peyton Manning's former teammate, retiring. With Calvin Johnson reportedly retiring at the end of this season, and now coming to Peyton Manning. Now everybody's asking the question: will this be his last game? So, guys, do you guys believe this should be Peyton's last game? In the season, he threw 9 touchdowns, 17 interceptions, had a passer rating of 68.1, and you know, I mean, it's not normal Peyton Manning. Oh, actually, excuse me, 67.9, but it's not normal Peyton Manning, you know, stats that you see. So, do you guys believe this should be Peyton's last game? Rudy, we'll start off with you. How do you think this should be Peyton's swan song?
Well, it's not really gonna be a swan song. I think it's gonna be a horror movie cut. You know, like when the killer comes in with the knife, it's like da, 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 da. That's what the Super Bowl night is gonna be like for Peyton Manning. I think he should have stopped playing last year. Actually, I think he came back just to come back. Mm-hmm. He's not necessarily Brett Favreing it yet. He hasn't sent any naked pictures to anybody.
Come on, but come on.
I think he should have been done. I think as a professional athlete, you play until you start playing sorry, and he has successfully started playing sorry. Whenever you can throw 17 interceptions and you didn't even play the whole season, that's pretty bad. Those are Eli numbers. So he needs to go ahead and sit down, get himself a nice spot in Titans upper management, and cool it for the rest of his life. Because I mean, he went to University of Tennessee. They want him there.
Finish your point, Rudy. Finish your point.
Yeah, I mean, I think this should be his last game. I just hope he makes it through the game. I hope Star Lotulelei and Luke Kuechly and them don't crush him, break his back or anything like that, because it's gonna get bad.
All right, Khaled, what do you think? Should this be his last game?
I think it should be his last game. When you started looking inefficient, like Rudy was trying to hint towards, but said it a different way. That's when you definitely should hang up just give up the game right there, and just. I think Peyton is just getting too old, and I don't see his game getting any better from here. Throwing 9 touchdowns and 17 interceptions, almost double your interceptions from your touchdowns. Mm-hmm. So I do think that he should look at that and see that he's not the same Peyton Manning, and that he needs to, step out the way and let another quarterback basically handle the team. And just go ahead and do his Papa John's commercials and get his money from that.
Come on.
I think the nation won.
All right, Rashad.
Oh yeah, true.
Let my man play one more year.
Oh,
Stop.
Everybody has a bad season. Everybody has a bad season.
this is horrid, not bad.
My man's 38.
Let Rashad finish. Go ahead, Rashad. Let him finish.
Brett Favre can do it. What's his name can do it. And what's his name? Bateman has a way better team than Brett Favre had with the Vikings and the Jets. What's the Jets, right?
But is he a
The
better
Jets.
quarterback?
The Vikings,
That's
the
the
Jets.
question.
Is he has a lot better. I think he has better IQ than Brett Favre.
Let him finish his point. Go ahead.
Yes, we saw him play bad, but he played with a lot of injuries. If you give him the whole offseason, let's say he gets healthy. Let's say he actually can get healthy. Let's say he do consider coming back. I think he can be an effective quarterback again for one more season. It's not to the point where like it's bad watching Peyton Manning because it's not the same, but it's not like there's still over half the quarterbacks in the league are better than him. I still can't say that.
That's true.
So why not come back for another season when, especially, it's okay if you win, if they win the Super Bowl, then I don't see them coming back. But if they lose, I see this team can still make it again. We can pick up one more piece and we're good.
Okay. All right, Eric, what do you think?
I gotta say, yeah, his body and his performance are starting to decline real quick. I mean, there's no other way to put it. He's not the same Peyton Manning, and if you're putting in Brock Osweiler, then it's time to hang it up because Brock ain't that good. Peyton ain't that good. There's another quarterback.
All right, so the way I'm seeing it, I actually kind of agree with Rashad because because think about it this way. Why should, because everybody has this made up mentality that that you, whenever you're going to the Super Bowl and your play falls off a little bit or something like that, that you should just automatically retire.
A little bit.
I mean,
17 interceptions isn't a little bit. That's a drastic.
Yeah,
he's had a bad.
Quarterbacks have awful seasons like
Yeah, there's been plenty of.
but hold on, but they're not Peyton. The other quarterbacks weren't Peyton Manning.
That is true. The other quarterbacks were not Peyton Manning, but you also have to look at it. He's not on the same team that he had to be the old Peyton Manning. The old Peyton Manning didn't have defenses like this. This team is the number one defense. The old Peyton Manning didn't have a dynamic running game. This Peyton Manning does. They run the ball a lot better when Peyton Manning's in the game.
With which dynamic was a very important word in that. None of those three running backs are dynamic, fast or strong.
Well, them coupled together makes them is why I'm saying dynamic. Them coupled together is why I say dynamic.
Oh, so it takes all three of them rubbed together to make one decent running back is what you're trying to say? Because that's what it is. They are horrible. They are awful.
Them individually. They each have their own strengths.
They're garbage.
Let me finish my point. Payne's never had a team like this. So you're this is one of the benefits as a star player. Same luxury Kobe Bryant had, same luxury Peyton Manning had, same luxury Brett Favre had. When you're a great player, you get to choose when you get to go. Nobody's telling you when you have to go. So as a quarterback, as great as Peyton Manning, if you feel like, hey, I can come back, play for another, so or so millions of dollars, I can come back, possibly lead this team to the Super Bowl again, maybe. And we've seen how bad he played, and they still made it there. You know what I'm saying?
But there was a stretch of games that Osweiler was in.
Osweiler didn't play that much better. Osweiler did not play that much better.
No, don't get me wrong. I didn't say Osweiler played much better, but he still played games, and they won some games that he played. It wasn't all Peyton Manning wasn't on the bench willing them to win.
Under Peyton Manning, that team lost one game. Under Peyton Manning, they lost one game.
But they also had a horrible offensive efficiency, and the defense was carrying them.
And
they had one of the worst
that's led them to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the defense led them to the Super Bowl. Yeah, not Peyton
Manning. But I never said Peyton Manning led them to the Super Bowl.
Oh, no, I have more points.
Either way, but my point is, what's wrong with the defense carrying you? Peyton Manning just has to be good enough that the team won't lose because of him. He just has to be good enough so that they can at least suffice and hold a team like the Patriots to 18 points where they score 20 and make it to the Super Bowl. That's all he has to be good enough to do. So I don't see why he has to be forced out by everybody because his play has fallen off. I mean, if you're good enough as a game manager, at this point, Peyton Manning seems to be a game manager. If you're good enough at that and you're not turning the ball over precipitous amount of times, since he's been healthy, keyword, since he's been healthy, throughout the regular season, he had that plantar fasciitis, he had the injured ribs, he had the hurt back, he had all these issues. He got healthy in the postseason. You see now he hasn't thrown one interception. So, yeah.
I swear he threw an interception.
No, he hasn't thrown an interception.
He threw that dumb fumble.
Fumble, man.
He still threw. It was still him. You can't say he didn't do it.
It was a fumble. It was a fumble.
But he threw it.
Come on.
You threw a fumble.
All right, go on with your point. Go on.
All right. I'm gonna pass this to Khalid in a second, but my point is he's playing garbage this season. Yes, I understand it's one season, but you got to look at everything. He had the neck surgery. And since the neck surgery, people say something isn't the same. He has one leg going into the Super Bowl. People are saying it's not the same. He's practicing way more than he's ever had to practice just to play decent. If you understand what I'm saying, this guy's going to work on, SportsCenter trying to catch him in the facility. He's running practice with ball boys and stuff like that, trying to get his routes and stuff right just to play decent. You feel what I'm saying? To play okay. When you're saying, oh, yeah, he hasn't been turning the ball over that much. Yeah, he hasn't turned the ball over that much, but he also didn't look that impressive. I mean, he didn't do much in that game. He did enough to win, like you said. That's okay. But for Peyton Manning and that standard, that's not all right. And then when you look at Gary Kubiak, the offense that he has designed for that team does not fit Peyton Manning. So you're asking him to come back to a team, they're in the Super Bowl, but it still doesn't fit him. They have him doing a whole bunch of play action boot rollouts and stuff like that. Peyton Manning doesn't roll out for anyone. That's a horrible decision. You're just going to get him killed. So you're asking a guy that's already ailing in two major spots. Your neck and your leg are pretty big things to be hurting. To come back to an offense that doesn't necessarily fit him, and we don't know what that team's going to look like coming into next year. Von Miller's a free agent. Some of those other players might get traded. We don't know what Elway's going to do up there. So we're asking this guy to come back for another season to a team that he necessarily doesn't really fit in the offense. They don't run the offense that great when he's in. They had a really low efficiency rating, and they weren't scoring that many points. We're actually struggling to score points where you're relying on the defense. I just don't know as a player if that is the ideal situation to come back to. And I don't think there is an ideal situation for him in the NFL right now. I mean, like you said, it's okay playing decent and riding on the defense, but that's just not Peyton Manning. If you can understand what I'm saying.
We don't need him to be. That was my point earlier in the discussion. He doesn't need to be Peyton Manning. He even said at this point, he doesn't need to be the reason they win. He's not going to be the reason why they win. It's going to be the defense.
That's the thing, though. They're going to need him to be Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl. You cannot be Peyton Manning until you get to the Super Bowl and you play the other best team in the league. And then we're going to need Peyton Manning to show up because you guys are ranked number one in defense. That Carolina defense isn't a problem. Is a problem. They have a very prolific offense. So when your defense holds them to 12 points and you can't score 12, I'm sorry. We needed Peyton Manning. We didn't need you to be decent enough. We didn't need you to just not turn the ball over. We needed you to get the ball in the end zone. We needed you to move the ball down the field to get us in field goal range, and that's where the problem comes. You can be decent all year with a great defense and get to the AFC Championship or the Super Bowl, but when you don't produce because you're not playing like your old self, it becomes a problem. Anyone can ride on a great defense against the AFC Championship or the Super Bowl. Trent Dilfer did it. Mark Sanchez did it.
But see, here's the deal. The old Peyton Manning teams never had like Brendan was saying earlier a running like combination like this. This team is running the best Peyton Manning has ever had.
Are y'all really resting on this running game?
I mean, are you gonna tell me Joseph Adai was better?
Wait, was he the one with the dreads, or was that Oh yeah, no, the one of them had Edgerrin James. No, when he had Edgerrin James was doing work. Edgerrin James was a problem.
Notice they went to the Super Bowl
when they had Edgerrin James. Yeah, and they won because Peyton Manning was playing like old.
But they
Peyton
had
Manning.
a running game.
Okay, so are you trying to argue that Denver has a running game because they don't?
No, I'm saying, but their run game has been better than what Peyton Manning has had in the past. No, Sean Marino wasn't doing that great as a running back for him when they went to the Super Bowl and got whooped by the Seattle Seahawks. That was the old Peyton Manning, and they got whooped.
Their whole team got whooped though. That wasn't just
their
Peyton
whole team
Manning.
got whooped. But
from the beginning, their center snapped the ball into the end zone because he was scared.
It happened, yeah. And I'm saying you had the old Peyton Manning, and you saw what happened. You had the old Peyton Manning against the Saints, and you saw what happened. Now you have a Peyton Manning who was resting. The last time Peyton Manning won a Super Bowl, guess what? His defense was ranked #1 when they won against
the Bears.
Yeah, against the Bears,
against Rex Grossman.
But their defense was still #1, and that shows that when you have that defense, when you rest on the defense, that's what produces championships. To see, look at the past few Super Bowl winners. All their defenses ranked in the top 10. The Seattle Seahawks, the New England Patriots, the Baltimore Ravens, all those defenses were great defenses. So you rest your morals on your defense. If Payne can come back for you, I'm not saying that we have yet to see the Super Bowl game, so we can't say if it's going to be old Peyton or the new Peyton, whatever. But my point is, if he gets the same defense, the same #1 defense, he can play another year with this team. Now, if the Broncos don't want to bring him back and he has to go elsewhere, I don't think he should play again. But if he can come back with this team already familiar. And you were talking about his practices and everything. Yes, he has to practice extra because he's rehabbing at the same time throughout the season. He's had a rehab throughout the season, whereas most times in the previous season, he either rehabbed in the off season because of his neck, but now he's forced to rehab in the regular season because of his foot, his ribs, and his arm. So he's forced to have to practice with the ball boys. They had Brock Osweiler in there because they saved Peyton Manning for the playoffs. There's a reason why they benched Brock eventually and put Peyton in because Brock wasn't producing. And the team responded better with Peyton Manning in. They run the ball better when Peyton Manning's in. They're more accustomed to other teams' defensive sets when Peyton Manning is in.
I understand what you're saying. This just running the ball thing is really tripping me out.
They do run the ball better when
I'm
Peyton
just
Manning's
saying,
in.
the running the ball thing is really tripping me out when you have 3 running backs that average like 6 yards in an entire game, and we call that a running game now. They win games. They win games because Peyton Manning hits people that are wide open in the seam every once in a while. Not because of that running game. The running game. I'm not saying horrible.
I
get what you're saying. Yeah. When he has a running game and a defense, he's gonna play better. But to your point earlier, when the Colts won the Super Bowl and they had the #1 defense, you're still talking about the Colts of the #1 defense and the old Peyton Manning. Yeah. What I'm saying is this Peyton Manning, this version of Peyton Manning, I don't think he's gonna be able to hold up. I mean, if he wins the Super Bowl and does his thing, hey, more power to him. But I'm pandering more to your thought of them trying to force him out. I'm in the belief that they are trying to slowly push him out.
I believe to
get Brock Osweiler start. And that's why I'm saying he doesn't need to come back, because all he's going to do is create a situation where he's a little bit of a burden, but because he's a legend, they're not really going to say anything about it. And Kubiak and them really want Osweiler to start, but they're going to let Peyton start. But the moment he messes up, they're going to let Osweiler slide in. Then when Osweiler slides, messes up or gets hurt, they'll have the luxury of putting Peyton back in. And that's just not the type of career you want to go to. You're already ailing with all these injuries that you just listed. Neck, leg, ribs, arm. Getting older and slower as it goes. And they want you to roll out. Just think about this. They want you to roll out into the face of Khalil Mack.
And that's the thing I understand. I understand that. That's why I'm just saying, can he play another year? Yes, he can. Should he? That's a big question.
The question was,
I think but to Rashad's point, Rashad said if they lose and they keep the team reconstructed as they are, Peyton Manning should come back if he wants to, but it shouldn't be up to anybody to tell him you should go. Just like if it's up to anybody, I mean, if Kobe Bryant wanted to play another season, if he felt like his body was good enough to play another season, Kobe could have played. But the only problem is the team isn't good enough. Peyton's team is good enough. Peyton's team can contend for a Super Bowl. Kobe's can't. Kobe would just be wasting his body away, whereas Peyton, you're actually playing for something.
Another point to this, though, things change year by year. So like we're saying, that they keep the same team reconstructed and he comes back next year for his valiant last stand, they can play like butt. It's happened. We have seen teams that have kept the exact same team from a year before and played tremendously worse. The Texans do it all the time. Now, it's not the same situation. They don't have a quarterback at all. But they've kept the same team and added better players to that roster and then come back a season after that and played god-awful. So we can't just rest on the fact that he has a great defense and be like, he has a great defense. If he comes back and plays decent, they'll come back.
Isn't it so funny? We're talking about Peyton Manning, and I just got an alert talking about the Rams have talked about bringing Peyton Manning to LA if he plays next season.
Exactly. But why would they do that to themselves?
Because we have Nick Foles as a quarterback. But anyway, stop. Anyway, we got to go on to the next one because the time is short, so we have to go on to the next topic. But
the great case.
Stop. I watched. You know what? I'm not going to pay attention.
Sean Hill the GOAT.
But anyway, go on to the next topic. The question is Cam Newton the most polarized, or has he been the most polarizing athlete in sports this season or this year? You know, you have athletes like Stephen Curry. You have athletes like Serena Williams. You have so many athletes that are out there that have just been playing great all year long. You got LeBron James. You have all these different kind of athletes, you know what I mean? You have Cristiano Ronaldo. You have all these different guys that have had great seasons this year. But the question is, which one has been the most polarizing? A lot of people have said Cam's gravitated to a lot of fan bases and he's got a lot of attention. But does that make him the most polarizing athlete? Because a lot of kids nowadays are trying to learn how to shoot the 3-ball because of Steph Curry. So the argument can be made, is Cam or is it Steph that's the most polarizing athlete? Guys, who do y'all think is the most polarizing athlete? Kyla, let me hear you first. What do you think?
Cam does have a great fan base, and people do enjoy his game, or the ones that aren't hating. When he's dabbing in Enzo, the young generation, we love seeing Cam have fun. But that man, Steph Curry, when he makes that three from a spot that's just unbelievable, and people look at it and the Warriors fans get crazy. It's just it's a whole different feeling. Because you see Cam Newton throw a good touchdown and stuff, throw a touchdown, a pass to the end zone, or you see him run into the end zone, and it's great and all. He dabbing like, yeah, I got in the end zone, but that beautiful three from from the middle of the court to make it into the basket it just builds something inside you that's like, wow, this guy is this man is great. This man is just so exciting to watch. Just to think that he gonna shoot the three at any point and basically it's gonna go in. So I do think Stephen Curry is more polarizing than Cam Newton. I feel like there's been a whole lot of fans who have jumped onto the Warriors bandwagon because they won the championship and because of Steph Curry's amazing offense. So I do think Stephen Curry is a whole lot more polarizing than Cam Newton right now.
All right, Eric, let me hear your point. Who do you think is the most polarizing athlete?
It's either got to be Steph or Cam. I mean, they get the most time on ESPN, so it's got to be one of them.
ESPN airtime.
Yeah, the
Steph Center.
I mean, that's whoever gets the most time on news channels is got to be it, and it's Steph Curry or it's Cam Newton. I mean, that's simply put. I don't know who else.
All right.
No one else is watching Cristiano Ronaldo. No
Oh,
one watching
God.
soccer.
Hey man, hey, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Cristiano is very important, very, very, very popular all over the. Cristiano doesn't even live here, and you see Calvin Klein. I'm talking about the most polarizing. Steph Curry's popular around the world.
He just made somebody mad.
Yeah, because Cristiano Ronaldo's popular. Yeah, Rashad got upset over there.
As soon as he said we lost a viewer.
Cristiano's been. You see him in Calvin Klein ads over here.
Yeah.
So Cristiano is a very, very, very popular athlete. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, he's a handsome guy too, man. Come on, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just saying, it's the truth. Don't time out. I'm just saying, it's the truth. You don't think looks play a part in how popular?
All flags on the play. No,
you don't think looks.
DeMar DeRozan's popular, and he looks like a Raptor.
No, DeMar.
Whoa.
Rudy, if you walked out here and asked, if I went out there and asked them two people, who's more popular? Who's popular?
DeMar DeRozan was more popular, but I say you said is Chris Bosh not popular? Is Chris Bosh not popular?
He's only popular because he played with LeBron James. It's because he played with LeBron. Don't play me. He's only popular because he played with LeBron. But he's only popular because he played with LeBron James. If I ask that girl right there, do you know who LeBron James is? She will know who LeBron is. Oh my! No, I just said people know who Chris Bosh is because Chris Bosh played with LeBron. People don't know.
But you said DeMar DeRozan. He's ugly.
I said DeMar DeRozan.
Okay. I said
no, but Chris Bosh. I'm saying, but when you play next to another popular athlete.
Hold on. So people don't know who Dikembe Mutombo is, huh?
People do know Dikembe Mutombo.
That's an ugly
but
person.
I'm saying, but he's a star. He's a star of his own self, and he's made the no.
Nothing much.
Yeah, he's made that popular. What has DeMar DeRozan made popular? What has
dunking on Timothy Mozgov?
Oh, I'm sorry. Blake Griffin only did it like 5 times. Okay.
DeMar DeRozan did it first.
I'm just saying, man. Like, nobody even acknowledges it. Only Blake.
And Blake got killed.
But yeah, okay, we gotta keep going. Who do you have as the most polarizing athlete, Rudy?
Oh, before I say that, I would just like to say that if you rub all 3 Rams quarterbacks together, it's probably like the Broncos running back situation, huh? Since they have a good running game, if you put all 3 Rams quarterbacks together,
it's not even the same.
I think it's the same. I'm pretty sure it's the same. But
to
get back to what you were saying, Cam has been polarizing, but I think the most polarizing has to go to Steph, and I'm gonna give a huge honorable mention to Serena Williams just because I don't think people appreciate how great she really is. She literally dominated the sport of women's tennis all of last year. Yes. I think what did she lose, like 2 majors maybe? She literally dominated. Her biggest rival, Maria Sharapova, she absolutely crushes every time they play. So I think we just need to give her a little acknowledgement and just saying that she's polarizing and she's amazing in what she does, and she's beautiful and doesn't really get exactly like I love watching tennis.
Her looks play a part in it too.
It's another aspect.
Even though Serena has been criticized for her body too.
I don't know why. Drake has no problem.
It doesn't get shown as much as basketball and football.
Yeah, Drake has no problem with her body. I just want to throw that out there. She's been really dominant, but Steph has been the most polarizing.
All right, Rashad, who do you think? Oh yeah, and address this man's comments about Cristiano too, because
Nobody watches soccer.
Yeah, man, watch soccer.
Y'all gonna disrespect.
Oh god.
I'm a Messi fan. So.
I'm a Messi fan too, but you can't take away from the greatness of Ronaldo. Well, actually, he came back now. He's a little banged up, but he's actually playing. The most polarizing athletes right now is Stephen Curry and it's Lionel Messi.
Yeah.
Nobody's playing better than both of those men right now. You have Neymar for Messi. You have Neymar and Suarez on the same team, and you're still putting up goals and assists like you're putting up. Mm-hmm. It's insane. Mm-hmm. And we've seen what Steph Curry been doing for the past 2 seasons now. I can say last season and we say this season is 2 seasons. Mm-hmm. He's been nothing but on SportsCenter every time they play. It's Steph Curry dropping 30, Steph Curry dropping 25, Steph Curry 50. Steph Curry making dude fall. Steph Curry making dude fall. It's Steph Curry, and people still don't give Steph Curry his credit. Now, why I say Messi, as Ronaldo is one of the most respected. He has the largest fan base in the world for an athlete.
Didn't he just get a movie?
Like the most haters too.
Yeah, he had the most haters.
I don't know if he got.
I'm pretty sure he just got a movie.
They went. Really?
Yeah, they just. I saw a trailer for him having a movie about his life. They actually showed it to Messi, and Messi was just like.
this is why Messi's so great. They went to Ronaldo's statue and painted on Ronaldo's statue Messi's number and name on top of Ronaldo's jersey on the statue.
Who did that?
Did they ever fix it?
I don't. Yeah, they fixed it, but they painted over it.
Messi probably did it himself.
And Messi's like, man, I didn't even have part to do with this, but just how great I am. And you like if you go to the soccer world, it's all Messi right now. Messi. It's insane how well him and Steph Curry are making an impact right now. It's
on FIFA.
It's only Messi. It's like when Tiger Woods had the PGA Tour before the Rory McIlroy's PGA Tour. Mm-hmm. Tiger. Messi's on every cover.
I actually have another honorable mention.
Who?
Another honorable mention goes out to my man Conor McGregor.
Oh yeah, UFC. But Conor McGregor hasn't been as big as.
Oh no, I'm just saying, but he did blow up though. He did blow up.
I'll kind of say a small honorable mention, even though I hate to say it.
Oh no,
I hate to say it. It's Jimmy Butler.
Oh.
As much as I hate to say it,
I knew you were gonna say Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler's been all over ESPN this year, and I just can't stand it. Everybody says he's better than Steph. And LeBron.
Whoa, not everybody. That one guy you worked with said that.
I've heard 3 already.
Well, you know,
saying they're choosing Jimmy Butler over those 2. I can't stand LeBron. Over LeBron and Steph. I can't stand it. I can't stand it.
Yeah, man.
But he has been not even in Bulls fans. He has been one of the premier athletes this year in the sports world. But I'm still saying it's Messi and Curry.
I agree with that Steph Curry is most polarizing. Even like because this most polarizing category is weird to me because is it most entertaining or most like impactful athlete in my opinion?
It can be
because
good or bad though too.
Yeah, it can be good or bad because to me,
reasons.
I feel like Steph Curry's been the most entertaining. That's why we always see him on ESPN with all the threes he hits. And I mean, threes are always worth more than 2. You hit 2 threes, you got 6 points. You hit 2 twos, you got 4 points. Threes are just going to be, captivating. But for me with Cam Newton, is that he's gotten so many media headlines and he's actually been like a villain. Like Steph Curry hasn't been a villain to anybody. Everybody's the babyface assassin. They love him, everything. But Cam Newton's been like a villain, whether you want to say it's because of generational stuff or race or something like that, because he's dabbing. Not the dance dabbing, what I'm saying? People hate on Cam and stuff like that, and you see how much media he gets. But at the beginning of the season, Luke Kuechly sold more jerseys than Cam Newton. Now Cam Newton is in top 3 jersey sales along with Steph Curry and LeBron James.
And Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah, the jerseys are all selling crazy. So it's one of those, it's a tricky question to me because I mean, yes, Steph Curry's been like the guy that you can't take the screen off because you never know what he's gonna do next. But can't you say the same for Cam? Because when you watch Cam, you're like, man, like I don't even know what it is. Cause I mean, he's just gonna be, he's not gonna make anybody fall unless he's juking somebody out. But
I think
he runs you over.
I think because you get to see Cam only once a week and you see Stephen Curry more. I think it's definitely you can like put it towards Stephen more. You see him more entertaining the fans more because he's more frequent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. All right, guys. So for the final topic, finally going to be making our picks. We've been putting off all these weeks, or the past 2 weeks. and we haven't made any picks. We've just been talking about the sports stuff in general. But now, finally, going to make our picks for who we each got winning the Super Bowl and why. So, Eric, let me hear your pick first and why you have them winning the Super Bowl.
All right, I got the Panthers, and I know the Broncos have the best running offense, and they got that great defense.
Yeah,
That was a joke.
Oh, man.
Calling back to
But Cam Newton, he's just too much. He's a machine, so it's Panthers all the way.
Okay.
45-0.
For one,
what?
Whoa.
He was joking.
You're joking?
He was joking.
Oh.
Well, the Denver Broncos might get a rushing touchdown.
Yeah, because the running game is so prolific.
I'm not saying Rashad, did I ever say that running game was great? I never said their running game was good. I said it's been better than it has been.
Dynamic.
I said it's dynamic.
I
said it's dynamic.
That sounds kind of good.
Because anywhere in dynamic, can you spell great?
I mean, dynamic.
Can you spell great?
I would want to be dynamic than average.
I can name a sucky player that's very dynamic.
Who?
Jeremy Lin.
Sebastian Telfair.
That's crazy.
Sebastian Telfair.
I'm just saying.
Go watch.
You can name a sucky player that's. Oh, okay. I'm just saying dynamic doesn't mean somebody's good. You can be dynamic and still suck.
But dynamic is still a step above.
I'm just saying dynamic means your game has different facets to it. Like their running game has.
I don't think they even got that.
I
don't even think they got that.
Versatile is the same thing virtually.
No,
yeah, it is.
but they're not versatile.
Dynamic and versatile are the same thing.
Dynamic sounds better.
The Panthers have a more dynamic run than.
They
do.
have a great running
They do have a dynamic. It is more dynamic. I never said it was more. Their running game was more dynamic than anybody. I just said they would have a dynamic running game.
KBR Sports Radio, we're picking up 1 yard per rush means dynamic.
I hate y'all. Just go. Just say why. Just say why.
Who goes?
Yeah.
Either one of y'all. I don't care. Go. Just go.
1.2.
Oh my God, I can't.
Trent Richardson's dynamic too.
I will hit you.
He puts up the same stats.
Khalid, say your point.
I think you got the Panthers one.
Don't look at me.
Because not because of Cam Newton, but because of Peyton Manning's insufficiency. During that Patriots game, the Patriots defense was able to keep Peyton Manning from converting on third down late in the fourth quarter, which gave Tom Brady multiple chances for him to come back and win. I do think that when Peyton Manning doesn't follow through late in the game, or that he can't make passes on third and fourth down, that's what's going to really hurt the game, and that's when it's going to allow Cam Newton to have more time to shine. You know, you just said that the defense will carry this team, but I mean, having the defense having to deal with a run game and Cam Newton who can run and throw, it's gonna definitely wear them out. And when Peyton Manning keeps them on the field too long because he has to punt the ball because he can't complete drives and stuff like that. I think it's definitely gonna help Cam Newton win this game, and I got them winning 28-17.
All right, go ahead, Rudy.
I like that prediction. I'm going to say the same thing I said when the Broncos played the Seahawks, because I've never been a very staunch defender of Peyton Manning. I think he plays subpar in big games. I think the Panthers are going to win this running away. They might let the Broncos score some garbage touchdowns at the end of the game or something like that, but I think the Panthers are going to give it to them. I think the defense of the Panthers might feel a little bit slighted with all this talk about how great the Broncos defense is, and they just turned the team over 7 times last week. I do believe that Peyton Manning is going to turn the ball over at least twice. I think Ted Ginn will probably get loose with that speed. Greg Olsen will be opening up the seam, and Cam Newton. I mean, I didn't say he was going to catch it. I said he was going to get loose with the speed. Word choices. But, yeah, I think Greg Olsen is going to play a big role. I think Jonathan Stewart is going to have a pretty good game. I just think the Panthers team as a whole will be able to overpower the Broncos and wear them down throughout the game. I'm going to go along the lines of I sort of agree with Khalid was saying, around 28-17, maybe like 31-17 Panthers. So,
all right, Rashad.
Like I told y'all 2 weeks ago, I said whoever comes out the NFC is going to win the Super Bowl.
I did say that.
I did.
You did say that.
So, but even though I'm picking the Panthers, here's what the Broncos got to do. Same thing I said when they played the Patriots. They got to come out. They got to come out on defense. If their defense come out stronger than the Carolina Panthers offense, they have a chance. That first quarter plays the huge role into it. But I don't see that happening because this Panthers team has been putting up in the playoffs 35 points, 40 points.
It's been bad.
So
first game was what 31.
31.
Next game was
45.
Yeah, so that's a mean average right now.
And they could have scored more than 45 if they wanted to.
I don't feel like it's about to drop either because it's just how clicking that team, and I feel like they want it more than the Broncos because all the stuff that's going on, and for a team that's never doesn't have many Super Bowl winners at all on it, if any, I feel like they wanted a lot more than this Broncos team wanted. It's something new to them. That's the only thing I give Broncos because they have experience, but I feel like this team wants it more, and I feel like they're gonna come out and perform.
So remember how we've always been talking about how this feels like it's the year of Golden State.
Yep.
I feel like it's the same thing with the Panthers. It's the year of Carolina. Like nobody can stop them. And I remember I had thought that it was going to be the Patriots, and I thought the only team that could really stop them was a team like the Patriots that was on the same trajectory as the Panthers, but the Panthers were hurt with injuries, riddled with injuries. So, but I feel like the Panthers are just on such a high that the Panthers nobody can rival how bad each of them want it. Like they want it so bad. It's one of those. You remember how you have that feel? Because remember the initial feel going into Seattle, Denver was it's the best offense versus the best defense. Mm-hmm. Well, now it's the best defense versus the best scoring offense. So you look at it, and then you're just like, man, you don't know who you have. You because one reason why the Denver Broncos were so great against the Patriots, like one of y'all said, who said it? Was it Khalid? I think that said that they were able to get to Tom Brady. But the problem is with the Panthers, you have a run dynamic quarterback who can move, who can run, who can throw, who can, he doesn't go down on initial contact. You said what?
Who can dance?
Yeah, he can dance, you know what I mean? He can do whatever you would need him to do. And then you got Jonathan Stewart coming out the backfield who's also a threat to run the ball on you. So you just don't know how to defend these guys. I mean, I guess where you attack the Panthers at is their wide receivers. And I mean, it's been a known fact that in order to beat the Panthers, you have to be able to go vertical on them. It's their secondary where they're hurt at, because in their front seven, good luck. You know what I mean? But, as long as you're not, but when you go into the secondary, Charles Tillman's hurt for the Super Bowl, so he won't be playing. But then one side you got Josh Norman, and then the other side you got Cortland Finnegan or whoever else they have in those dime packages or whatever package they throw out there. You have Cortland Finnegan. And yeah, so everybody said that their weakness will be in the passing game. So it's it's just because of the fact it feels like it's Peyton Manning's last game.
No,
wait. You didn't let me finish. You didn't let me finish. I didn't even finish.
There's always one.
No. I didn't even finish.
Please finish.
I was saying, because it's the fact it's Peyton Manning's last game, I believe the Broncos are going to play their hearts out in order to try and get Peyton Manning this last one. But I feel like the Panthers are the better team all around, and they have the better man at quarterback, the better player at quarterback. So that's what's going to help them get the win. So I have the Panthers winning. Score, I'd probably say it'd be about 28-13.
Their average is not going down. They're playing
I said 31.
No, number one defense.
Yeah,
I got it. It's the number one
Yeah,
defense.
You
think about the Panthers, who they've gone against each of these playoff games.
Yeah, against Carson Palmer. Not Carson Palmer. Against the Cardinals defense.
That defense is.
But the Panthers.
That Cardinals defense is tough. But the Cardinals defense wasn't the best at stopping their running game, which they couldn't stop. First, and the Cardinals also turned the ball over a lot in that game. So it gave the Panthers a short field to work with. When you're driving the field against the number one defense the whole game, I mean,
I actually have one thing to say here.
The Panthers defense is ranked number 6. It's ranked 6.
I have one thing to say here.
That's why I gave the Broncos 13 points.
In games like this, when you're talking about a number one defense going up against a prolific offense, it usually comes down to inches and little 3rd and 2s, 3rd and 1s. Will the Panthers be able to run it on 3rd and 1 and 3rd and 2? I have an X factor for the Panthers, actually. My man, Mike Tolbert. I think Mike Tolbert. He's a veteran. Tackling Mike Tolbert is like tackling the piano. Like Mike Tolbert's a big guy.
Of all objects.
Have you seen how he's shaped?
I know.
It's pretty much a piano.
He's you and that's fusion.
Exactly.
Yeah,
He's pretty much a
man.
piano. Like I
dude.
think it's gonna come down to Mike Tolbert getting some tough yards or possibly tough goal line situations, and he catches passes out the backfield. I think he's gonna be one of those players that the Broncos don't necessarily. I'm not gonna say that they don't game plan for him, but I don't know if they'll necessarily be prepared for him. You can't prepare for Mike Tolbert, if that makes sense. You can only feel it when he. You can only feel it when he comes. Like.
Yeah, essentially. It's big dudes, man.
They show up on game day and you just get in kneecaps.
Yeah, pretty much. But all right, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for today. It's been KBR Sports, the best sports talk show of your 24-hour day, hosting on WODU Live, the best in college radio. You can subscribe to the WODU Live YouTube channel where you can see our past shows on there and also other shows as well. Eric is going to have an upcoming show in the future, so look out for that. Then you can also subscribe to the KBR Sports YouTube channel where you can see our past shows and past segments, and follow us on Twitter at KBR_sports, where you'll see everything that we tweet about KBR Sports and other news in the sports world also. And also follow WODU Studios. You see a lot of different things on there where they might tweet about us on there also. All right, y'all, have fun. Everybody watch the Super Bowl. Make sure you watch it. All right, everybody.